My name is Pavneet Khurana. I'm an organisational psychologist. And like so many other psychologists I know, my route into the industry hasn't been a straightforward one, but it has been a creative one. Many moons ago, when I did my undergrad in psychology, OP wasn't something that was commonly discussed or thought about. Neither was career guidance either, by the way. You had three options: clinical, teaching, or look in another direction. So I did the latter, and I don't regret it one bit. I knew I wanted something colourful. I love the analytical part of the degree and the conversations I was having. And so I started volunteering for a magazine as a writer, which led me into a career in marketing within the fashion industry, which I absolutely loved. Working with small businesses was amazing because the breadth of work and experience was huge, and I had exposure to all parts of the business, not just marketing. And I was really curious about it all. I got to understand how a business operated. I got to understand where things went wrong and why, and really understand the importance of culture too. But at one point I thought, hold on, wasn't I meant to be some sort of psychologist 10 years ago? But I stepped away and I started to learn again, learn about the many facets of psychology. And I worked under a team of clinical psychologists, trying out as many things as possible in this new world, and spoke to as many people as I could who identified as a psychologist. And LinkedIn was my best friend at this time. And that was actually game changing for me, hearing the experiences and motivations of people who I would never usually get the opportunity to meet, and simply asking, what's your story? Is such a powerful question. And you'd be surprised at how much people want to talk about themselves. A bit like me now. I did spend a lot of money buying coffees for people, but in exchange, I got the opportunity to hear and understand what I liked and what I didn't like, and what I could see myself doing, and what environments would be right for me. And that helped me to choose occupational psychology. So I went back to school again. And I really believed my experience up until that point was so valuable to the field, and that my perspective on small business, on startups, on creativity would be the perfect alignment. Turns out I was the only one who thought that at that point. I had so many doors shut in my face while navigating, and the guidance I was getting was to start from scratch. But I was told that I was too old and inexperienced for grad schemes. I was told I was too inexperienced for psychology roles in a consultancy. And I was told that occupational psychology only lived in large organisations or in the public sector. And don't get me wrong, I've had my fair share of barriers, but none as confusing as these. And I had already built quite a successful career, and I saw this as a pivot and adaptation of focus, not starting from scratch. Anyway, I started to think I had done something wrong. And I kind of felt that I had to create my own opportunity, and there wasn't anything out there for someone like me. So hope came my way. A friend of mine had a concept for a business that was challenging the recruitment industry. So I jumped in and I started building. And the purpose of the business was a culture first approach to recruitment. So I got deep into culture assessment, employer branding, redesigning the candidate experience, the hiring process, really applying psychology at work. I was constantly learning along the way, trying, testing, failing, trying again. But I crafted the right blend for me at that point. I was able to put all of the things I wanted to try into a little pot and see where it took me. And got to work with small businesses, maximizing on my marketing and business experience, practically applying psychological theory and all of that creativity and color, which I really needed. But it definitely wasn't easy, and you definitely never get taught how to run a business. So after almost 3 years, I stepped away and I broadened my scope as an independent consultant. And through this period, it was relationships that I valued most again. I met and spoke with as many people as possible who were doing something differently. People who had stories to tell, who were doing something a bit challenging. And now I work with Unleashed, a small group of highly empathetic, highly pragmatic people and culture experts who are challenging the way that startups and scale-ups think about the people experience. My role at Unleashed is so multifaceted, but the core is the ability to bridge together research and practice, and helping businesses evolve and scale, and bringing their identities to life through their people, their culture, and their strategy. And the unique blend of marketing with psychology that I've been able to create for myself has really come into its own here. And when it comes to problem solving and storytelling for change, and day to day, I help high growth startups to scale sustainably and to build inclusive cultures. And that involves design thinking workshops, that involves strategy development, and it involves assessment. I'm also working on a side hustle at the moment, but more on that another time maybe. The ultimate goal with my work, though, is that I have the ability to enable teams to feel motivated, productive, and fulfilled, and ensure that businesses are as successful as they want to be through their people. My guidance for anybody walking into this profession is that there's no one way to work in this industry. There's definitely no one right path, and what's most important is that your work includes a piece of you. So speak to as many people as you can. Don't limit yourself. If you're really clear in the direction that you want to go in, and you understand the area that you want to walk into, then go for it, follow it. But if you don't box yourself in. Be curious, keep learning, keep reading, keep listening. So many people ask me, what area of OP do you work in? And my response, all of it. Discover the pieces that you like and build your own puzzle.
Hello, my name is Linda O'Donnell and I'm a trainee occupational psychologist. So I graduated with an MSc in occupational psychology just over 5 years ago, in fact 6 years ago now, and shortly after that looking for specific work, and was really struggling to find something that I felt I could really get my teeth into, and something that was truly psychology based as well. I was really passionate about wanting to do something that was applied. So I took a bit of a chance and I decided to set up my own consultancy. And 5 years later, I'm delighted to say that it's still going strong. I've worked with a number of clients in lots of different sectors, public, private and third sector as well. Something that's been really important to me during that time is about being able to give back to students, and I think it's about me recognising what was perhaps missing for me when I was a master's student. I felt that there was a bit of a disconnect between the theory and what the qualification meant and where it could actually ultimately take me in my career. So quite quickly on in my role as careers liaison for the Division of Occupational Psychology in Scotland, I had the opportunity to link up with a number of universities. My local university is the University of Aberdeen, and I have been really lucky that over the years I've secured a really close bond with the university and the students there. And it really just started from being invited along as a professional to a networking event, and it's really grown from there. So I've been invited in on a number of occasions to deliver some little workshops and done some psychometric assessments with students, just to give them a bit of an insight into what the world of a practitioner looks like. And that was really important for me. It was about taking that theory and really putting it into practice. So following on from that, I've been in a position for the last 3 years to have an intern work for me, so different interns over the last 3 years work with me on different projects that I've been involved in. So one was a charity sector project which involved trying to determine whether a charity sector leader had specific qualities and competencies as a leader compared to other organisations in other sectors. So following on from that, just having that close relationship with the students has enabled me to actually secure some work with the university. So this year they have in fact asked me to write a course. So it's a postgrad course in organisational psychology. And I've been absolutely delighted to do that. It's been one of my proudest achievements to be taken on by them as an honorary lecturer. So yeah, I just wanted to mention this because I think it's really important to be able to give back to students. So I've not only through the opportunities where I've been able to offer internships, have I given students an insight into what the role of a practitioner looks like, but also I've really applied that to the psychology course that I've written as well. So each part of the course, I talk a bit about the different areas of psychology, such as training and development, leadership, well-being and engagement and so on. But I've also backed that up with real case studies of work that I've actually delivered in each of these areas, so that the practical elements of psychology can be understood by students, and they can see how it actually what it looks like in the workplace. And as I say, I think that's something that was really missing for me when I was a student. So having that practical application is something that I feel really passionate about, and I've been really delighted that all of the students that worked with me as interns have actually gone on to study their MSc in occupational psychology as well. So I feel like I've really done my bit to help promote psychology. I think my passion really comes across when I engage with students as well. And it has just been such a pleasurable experience. It's something that I feel really, really proud of.